Hello friends, my name is Marina. I'm the person behind Everything Marina Food Blog. This is third part of the video where we're making Thanksgiving wreath macarons. And we're gonna be assembling this macarons and the wreath. What do we have? This is the wreath that we made in previous video. And some macarons also. This is the color we have, and I made royal icing and I use Chef Master food coloring, and the shades will be all below this video. What I did and how I decorated all this gel food coloring from Chef Master. And you see the shades, what I have, all these shades. So I prepared in a pastry bag a royal icing. I'm using the recipe for royal icing that I specifically developed to decorate macarons. It's more consistency of the buttercream. This royal icing not for cookies to decorate. It's a little different, and the recipe is on my blog. Of course, I'm gonna leave the link below this video if you wanna watch, or you wanna make your own royal icing. It's totally fine. In my recipe, I'm using meringue powder from Chef Master. It's dry ingredient. I'm not using egg whites from fresh eggs, specifically for when I'm decorating macarons. I think that will be very good colors for fall, because I want this wreath to make my centerpiece for Thanksgiving dinner, and I thought it will be really great for you guys to learn and see how I decorate that. Of course, you can decorate your own way, but right here I'm going to be using just 2 piping tips. Very simple. It's Wilton 352. It's a leaf piping tip. If you don't have that 352, there is Wilton 70 to make leaves. So it's all up to you. You can mix if you have those tips. And then it's just plain round. It's Wilton 4, or I have 5, 3. It all depends how you're going to be decorating. Even if you don't have the round piping tip, you always can use just a piping bag where you can cut that a little tip and then adjust if you want a larger or smaller. It's all up to you. But if you have just one piping tip, 352 or maybe 70 or round, that's more than enough. We're not complicating this. This is very simple, beginner friendly. The colors also will be in my description and on my blog. Right now I'm just moving everything and I'm preparing to decorate. And I want to just stop and talk about when you can assemble, when you can decorate this wreath or just plain macarons. You can decorate and before filling, or you can do after filling. So I'm doing before filling because my filling is still coming to room temperature. It was a little stiff, so I want to make its piping consistency. So that means I will decorate first and then I will be filling and sandwiching macaron shells, and the same with the wreath. So there is 2 different ways. It's all up to you. How is your time for Thanksgiving, and if you want to decorate before or after. If you decorate it with royal icing, it's perfectly fine to refrigerate in airtight container. Your icing will be fine. I had no problem with that. I even have some frozen macarons with royal icing. I don't see any problem. All right, what else I can mention for wreath? How you just think ahead of time how you're gonna serve that wreath. Are you gonna be serving it on a separate plate? I would recommend to use cake board and assemble right on this cake board. This way it's very transferable. It's light. It just, it's paper, it's not a plate, and it's gonna look good, so you can move, you can place in a fridge. It's up to you, or you can just assemble right on a plate. But don't forget, if you assembling before filling, you will still need to put that wreath into a fridge because macarons needs to mature before you can enjoy them, right? So just think ahead of time. Do you have that large container with a cover, and will that damage the decor, the royal icing, if when you cover tight? So just think about that also, right? Just keep in mind. I'm planning to place it on a cake board, and I'm gonna decorate, and then I'm gonna fill, and then I'm placing in an airtight container. I have very large one and very tall, so I'm sure it's not gonna damage my wreath, my decor. So just think ahead of time, all right? And probably just gonna place like this. And you see the wreath, it's very good size. It has perfect fit. And remember, when we were piping, we were not piping very close, just after topping. It's all connected, those parts of the wreath. So when you bake, make sure you bake, maybe sometimes it will take a little bit longer. Just make sure it's properly baked and you see nice fit. And we can decorate. All right, I'm just gonna move this on the side, and I have no idea how I'm gonna decorate. It all will come right here on the video. So let's just do this. What I will recommend with the royal icing, when you place in a bag, just make sure you tie it because it will dry. Use a coupler because maybe you want to switch piping tips. I just place in a separate bags, and I have just many piping tips. So, but if you have maybe 1 or 2 piping tips, it's okay to switch. That's why I'm using coupler. It's very great tool. I also have the toothpick, maybe just in case if my royal icing will be too runny. And I also keep like a wet paper towel because I need to clean the sometimes hands and sometimes the piping tip. All right, let's see what we can do. The first, how I'm planning to do, how I have this in my head. I'm gonna make a wreath, and then I'm gonna make leaves. That's simple, right? Very, very simple. So my wreath will be brown, and this was actually green, leaf green, forest green, and it was a little too bright for my liking, so I added a little bit of brown. So that's how I made this color. It looks probably more like black right now, but I think it will be really beautiful on this wreath. So if I don't have round tip like this one, I'm just cutting a little tip, very little, don't cut too much. And remember, the cutting tip, the bag, you're just throwing on the floor, right? So let's do this. And I probably will change the camera, then I want, setting on my camera, I want you guys to see really close, right? All right, guys, I changed the setting of my camera, and I want you to see very close. So right here I have cake board, and this is my wreath. You see the feet and everything. I want to show you closer. See how it looks? That's without filling, but I think it's perfect size. And the template is on my blog. If you want to use it, you're welcome. I think that will be really perfect for Christmas too. And I'm planning to make another one for Christmas, green one. I didn't have time to make last year, but I think this year I'm on the board and gonna be making. All right, I have these 2 colors, brown and my mix. So right now what I'm doing, just kind of drawing a wreath. It's like just pieces of wood. And like I said, this is very beginner friendly. I mean, you don't need any like piping skills for this. There is just simple, very, very basic piping tips. I want you guys, even if you're just beginner and you start maybe baking, I want you to be able to make this and share with your friends and family. Very, very simple. And right here I have Wilton 4. And if I don't like it, I can always change to different. Piping tip, a little smaller. Don't forget, this is just cookies. It's not like, I mean, yes, it is piece of art, don't get me wrong, but it's also cookies. You can always add something, or it will be hard a little to remove something, but if you don't like something and you want to use toothpicks, so please use it right away. All right, and I can change to something smaller, like this Wilton 3. And you see, if you have a coupler, that's very beneficial. You just switch the piping tip, and it's boom. It's good to use. All right, don't forget, we don't need too much of this royal icing because we're still gonna be placing some leaves. So this is just for texture, to make it sure it looks like a wreath, right? For Christmas one, I have different ideas already. But for the fall ones, just very something simple. So right now I have this piping tips with the leaf. And I have this piping tips. It's 352. This color. Like I said, beginner friendly. Just start piping. However, and you see, if you have this, you can always remove the royal icing if you don't like something. Or you can always pipe on a paper towel and see if your icing is good consistency. This one even a little too runny, so I don't think I'm gonna use like too much of this. No, for some reason it's very runny, but it's fine. We just need a little bit of color of this orange, so don't get upset even if it's not right consistency. Still pipe the leaf, and don't forget, this is beginner friendly. We just need a little bit of that orange on that wreath. Okay? Boom, done. Now let's use this. This is avocado color, and I really like this color because it's very natural. Let's pipe. All right. And you see the consistency of this icing, much different. So what I'm doing right here, I'm just piping this icing in shape of leaves. Just use your imagination, how you feel it's gonna look on a wreath. Just go in the same direction and move this cake board. You can decorate on a plate if you want right away. I think you got getting idea, right, guys? All right, now let's use different green. I want you guys to see much better. I'm standing right now by this table, but if you want to sit down, perfectly fine. This is like very, very simple. You can even get your kids involved, like I do usually with Christmas cookies, Christmas macarons that I'm decorating. My son just loves to help me. And you see, there is nothing really hard I'm doing, just piping those leaves. I think this tip for leaves, it's just basic, and you can do a lot really with that. And I love it. All you have to just find the colors that you want to be using, and that's it. All right. Now let's do this yellow and see if we can get this more yellow accent into this. And to be honest, it's all up to you how much you want to put this icing. If you want a lot or just a little bit. Don't forget to move that board. It's easy to pipe. If you lefty, also make it work. I'm right hand, and this is how I pipe. If you have that Lazy Susan, remember that the one I was using to make macarons tower, that would be perfect to use if you like. Even right now it looks okay, but if you want more colors, more, why not? Let's just add more. But I like sometimes very simple and not that many things. You see, that's what we have. And I think even right now it's more than enough. But I can still want to use this orange kind of. And I'll show you what I can do with this orange. Maybe I'm just on one macaron. I'm switching this piping tip to round Wilton 4. All right, and I'll show you what I wanted to do. Just round orange. And you see the consistency of this royal icing. If you don't like the shape, how it's piping, it's totally fine to use toothpick, and like you will decorate cookies, just move help with the toothpick. If you want, you can let it dry a little bit for shape. If you know what I'm making right now, I am piping pumpkin. Like this. Very simple, just one piping tip. Like this. What are we doing next? We're using that green one. Or do I have brown? This brown with the round piping tip. And right here we can add a little bit of green, or if you want to just leave like that. You see? This is, I think, very cute, simple. And don't forget, we use the same colors from this wreath. Right? I can even pipe pumpkin right here. Let's see if I can do this. Just have to find like really good spot. Oh, this was not really. And with royal icing, you have to really work slow. There is no rush, really. That's why I'm telling you to decorate maybe first and then assemble. Because when it's Thanksgiving dinner, you probably will have so many different things to do, and you don't want to just focus on that, on the decor, or maybe you just let your kids do that, or other members of your family. It's a little messy on that side if you guys can see me, but I'm just showing you the clean side, what I'm doing. That's always like that. Nobody wants to see dirty dishes, right? See a little cute pumpkin, just like this one. All right, maybe I'll do another one. So that's very, very simple. And if you say, yes, I have so many royal icing left, that's true. And I will be still decorating the rest of my macarons. So if you just want to do just a couple of this colors, maybe one or two, and then decorate, it's also up to you. Let's do pumpkin maybe right here. And you can make larger, not just 3 parts of the pumpkin. You can make 6, I mean 5 if you like. There you go. Little pumpkin. All right, and I'll show you how to put filling and finish assembling this Thanksgiving wreath. And I have right here a few macarons that I want to show you how to decorate. Just simple leaves. This is acorn, little pumpkin, maybe a few more leaves. Very simple. It doesn't have to be very perfect. Remember, it's all just cookies. And I'm just piping on one side of this shell. The acorn, and to make an acorn, just round and stop. This way you made this little drop, and then we're using this brown. Like that. Let's make another pumpkin. Pumpkin, it's very easy. You stop. And if you like, you can add a little bit of green. And of course you can use toothpick to fix this, because my orange is a little bit runny. There you go. If you don't have even tip, use round one and do something like this. That would also look like little leaves. very, very simple. I feel like I need a little bit of yellow here. Maybe I'll do like this leaf. Okay. All right, and just like that, you can leave on a countertop or place in a fridge until you're ready to fill. Don't forget, this is icing, so it's going to be dry. It's not like a buttercream. It can be just stored at the room temperature. You can even assemble next day if you like. All right, friends, it's time to finish assembling this Thanksgiving wreath and macarons. We decorated it with royal icing, and when you have time, don't forget, macarons needs to mature, so obviously you're going to be eating this tomorrow, next day. So make ahead of time, and like I said before, you can fill macarons and then decorate, or you can decorate and then fill. I decorated first, and right now I'm going to be filling. This is my filling that I was keeping in a fridge. What I have to do right now, I have another pastry bag with a round tip, and this one is Wilton 1A. It's a larger piping tip. Don't forget, we need to fill this wreath. Right now, I'm just gonna cut a little piece of this filling in a pastry bag. And I'm placing this pastry bag in another pastry bag with a round tip. You can just pipe like this if you like, but I like to use pastry bag. But I like to use pastry tip. All right, let's fill macarons first. And if filling is a little bit runny, just place back in the fridge. Sandwich with another. And I don't like to fill with too much filling. It's a little bit even runny for my liking. Beautiful filling. Smells so good because we use that chai tea spices. That's what we have. Let's finish to assembling this Thanksgiving wreath macarons. I can do it right here on a cake board, or I can place on a cake stand or on a plate. It's all up to you. Just one tip, if you're gonna be serving on that cake board, I would just place this filling straight on a board, and then place this wreath, because that way it's not going to be moving, right? I'm not putting any this cream because I want to transfer on a cake. All right, let's do this. And I'm piping this way. You can pipe as much as you want. Right in the middle of this filling, you can put some maybe caramel even, or any fruit confit if you like. But like this. Press lightly, make sure there is no filling coming off the sides of this. wreath. There you go. So right now what we can do, we need to place in a container and mature. See, I want to show you what we got. We have this Thanksgiving wreath macarons. It looks like large macaron or little cake. I think it's really cute for Thanksgiving. And you can place right like this in a container. You see, it will be perfect if you cover. You can also place these little macarons and refrigerate for at least 8 to 12 hours or overnight. It will be perfect if you make the day before Thanksgiving, and it will be ready by the time you start eating your turkey. What do you think, guys? Let me know in comments. I would like to see your creations if you make maybe this wreath. All right, maybe we can place like this. I will be serving on a cake, on a stand cake. Look at this. This is Thanksgiving wreath macarons. It's a fall edition, and I hope you guys like it. Thank you for watching and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.